4 days ago I shared, you were taught not to believe pumps like Pavlov's dog, but this one will be the one. Position accordingly. 3 days after it, we pumped. We went from 59,000 per Bitcoin back to 65,000 at this stage. What's important to figure out at this stage, is this a fake pump? What should you be doing moving further? Will you actually have an option to enter the market? We are in a very different situation where a lot of the market participants actually do not pay attention to the market, or they try to short and get wrecked. We will go very deep into the reasons for why this pump happened. We will understand what is happening in the marketplace currently, and we will figure out, is this the time to be entering currently? Will you have the option to enter? And if so, when? And what you should be doing moving further, how you should coordinate moving further in the crypto market. Press the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's start. At the start of this week, I told you that we will be pumping to 63 and 64,000 per Bitcoin, which is exactly what happened. Yesterday, I gave you a list of Solana meme coins that went up drastically. Unfortunately, my editor was not able to publish and edit the video on time. However, in my Discord channel, I shared a list of the same meme coins yesterday at 9 AM EU time, Paris time, which pretty much most of them, I would even say that all of them, showed at least 30% move up. Some of you might say that, so what? The whole market essentially went up. I won't be so confident in this statement because I was watching after a range of projects in the market. A range of them, they did not go up significantly. And at least all 15 meme coins that I specifically gave you, all of them went up. And you did have an option to actually enter with size into them as well. I also recorded a separate video in my Discord sharing a bit more alpha on each and every one of these meme coins, the info that I can't share publicly. If you would like to join Discord, you can use the link in the description below this YouTube video. I do plan to close this group closer to the real kickoff of the bull run. I would also not recommend considering joining if you have less than $15,000 to invest in crypto. And I would even say I would not suggest joining the group if you have less than $15,000 to invest in meme coins. I do a lot of meme coin research, and there is a reason I provided you with a list of meme coins on Solana that I provided. All of them are good long-term picks that you can invest, hold, and receive highest ROI from the market. There is still a range of market participants with limited beliefs that you cannot enter meme coins with size, that they are too risky, that they are scamming and dragging. I am checking out the market, testing out the market, often losing my own money in order to figure out what are the projects worth holding. Something very important I was sharing on my Twitter yesterday that I just have to share on YouTube as well. Now this will be the pump where people won't believe and short. Negative funding is required for further fuel. Meme traders are best traders out there right now. There is the reason they started to buy back heavily from 1.5 to 2 days ago. With Solana not moving at all. Solana was not moving, but memes were actually recovering. Shorting pussy fucks will send us to Valhalla, as essentially we will use the shorts as fuel to move higher. The pictures carefully psyoped to perceive them it's just a fake weekend pump. Get wrecked. And right after several hours wrecked, I'm sharing this because BTC actually reached $64,000, 65 at the highs. And what's interesting is that we are in the weekend currently. And some people are saying that we are during JIT hours, which definitely means that a lot of people actually got wrecked with their shorts. Through the pump yesterday, I was carefully looking after the funding rates. On the range of tokens, we do have negative funding rates. Speaking of BTC, mostly it's positive, but it's like neutral. We don't have crazy loan funding rates at this stage, which means that either people just got liquidated shorting, which definitely happened, and they're not really sure to loan from here because of the reason that they think that we might actually go down and drop a little bit from here. Liquidation maps definitely show this as well. We do have two walls of liquidity for loans at 62.5 and 63.2, which is not that far away from here. We do have certain short liquidity above us, but it's not the large one as well. We definitely do have a large wall of short liquidations a bit higher, 67, 68, 69, and essentially 72 as well. With us continuing the movement further, we will just pump heavily using the liquidity from shorts, because we still have a giant wall of liquidity out there. I do think the potential scenario that might be happening is chop through the weekend, and on Monday it would be interesting to see the dump. For me, dump on Monday will essentially confirm bullish continuation moving further, and I would essentially want for the dump on Monday take out this long liquidity and essentially use this long liquidity to continue further move up. Pretty much something similar that happened this week. If you remember, Monday I was sharing that I do enjoy this dump on Monday. This is something I want. I was saying I would be very cautious if this dump won't be happening, but fortunately it happened. Piece of bullish news that a range of market participants is sharing is that US dollar index is going down. And this chart essentially looks cooked, and it definitely have targets to go at least back to this liquidity zone somewhere here, and then we might have something right here. And I will also be sharing some tweets with you, but this zone essentially was a peak of the bull market, and it definitely makes sense because the cheaper is the dollar, the more people are looking to outperform and they're looking to move into the risk assets. This high was your best entry points for crypto. It was exactly on October 2022, and what's interesting is that we had the crash of FTX, and these things are always connected. Bad news are always like worse news, they are always coming out during the peaks of the bear market. This is the time where dollar was the strongest, and experienced market participants, just looking at this chart, they made a decision to enter risky assets here, and experienced market participants, they made the decision to re-enter crypto markets right here, just based on this chart. Just based on the fact that we had a major local top and it looked toppy for dollar index right here. Right now, it seems like we are due to crash. Somewhere here, probably consolidate, maybe had a fake pump, have a sideways price action, and eventually move here back into this area, where we will eventually have peak of the bull market as well. Probably 2026 is a bit late. I think you just should care about where is this chart and what does this chart show. As soon as we enter, you should be careful. And probably like largest gains, they will be happening in this area right here. If we will essentially be tapping it by somewhere around this area, we will be around the top of the bull market. And it also shows double top from the previous crypto cycle, which is very interesting, right? And we can also see that dollar dropping was correlating with crypto, but crypto was a bit delayed. For example, we had local bottom for crypto in December in 2020, and crypto peaked around May 2020, which is essentially 5-6 months after, right? And we had second local bottom in June 2020, and crypto peaked in November 2021. From June to November, we also have around 5 months. So it's a very nice lagging indicator that actually allows you to look into the future. You can actually assess that 5 months is a delay that crypto market is usually receiving, which definitely actually shows us that we should be seeing some bullish price continuation for quite some time right after it, right? And there is probably quite some time for the bull market as well. And all these things, they correlate nicely with the global liquidity as well, because I was sharing some charts in the previous videos that were showing that we are at the edge of the breakthrough of global liquidity, which usually pumps crypto markets as well and risk assets. And pump of crypto is not connected with BTC halving cycle. It's mostly connected with the liquidity cycle. Something from Matthew I wanted to share. This is closed account, so you can't access it. Seems like a pretty easy setup to me. Token heads stoke recession fears and hard landing as data comes in. Then Powell eases concerns, saying soft landing is still a potential reality. Election happens, then we see how soft or hard the landing really is. What it means is that all the bearish talks and doom talk would essentially be covered by the actions of the Fed, at least till the election. And only after the election we would be able to actually see whether or not we are getting our soft landing or hard landing. And depending on what type of landing we will be seeing, we will see continuation of the Fed actions. Imagine being the captain of a giant ship that you can gas or brake, but the ship reacts 12 to 18 months later, and you can only see a little bit ahead based on old data. You won't know if you slowed down too much for over a year. That's what the Fed has to do with the economy. That's a very, very nice comment and very, very nice tweet I wanted to share. They really try to coordinate in the darkness without seeing real situation at this stage. Some doom posts from people that were wrong and probably will continue to be wrong as well. Many of you soon to be realities, clown world. It's essentially an M pattern on the chart that is considered a bearish pattern. But what's more important is the amount of views. 200,000 views. Very, very interesting situation, because how this thing works at this stage, it works as co-pills for people that was too scared at the bottom, for people who actually decided to sell at the bottom, and right now what they're looking for co-pills to confirm the bias. And like all this social media and all this Twitter, it essentially helps a lot with showing the content that you actually want to see, right? Because it checks like what type of content you actually spend more time on, what type of content you like, what type of content you repost. It's this very, very dangerous biased algorithm, because what will essentially do for you, it will persuade you to continue just hold stables, to continue not entering, which will result in the fact that you will be entering way, which will result in the fact that you will be entering way too late, which will result in the fact that you will underperform, you will not make enough money, and you will have way higher chance not to sell at the top. And what's interesting is that the same algorithm that actually persuades you currently in not buying, in all these bearish type of bullshit on Twitter and other platforms, at the top it will also push bullish content. It will also persuade you not to sell. It will also tell you, just like we're going to $1 million per Bitcoin, just hold, it can go down and things like that. This is a very, very dangerous type of setup. Always try to look for information from different sources, but pretty much the only thing you can look at is just the chart of the dollar. That's it. September is bearish, always, almost always. In my opinion, it's not the moment to get greedy. I will look for shorts into September meeting, right? Anyway, we can enjoy some green on chain now, but I would not be greedy from here. 100,000 views as well. A bunch of people who also support this type of opinion, because it serves as the co-pill, because they saw the bottom, they believe the doom posters, they believe $40,000 BTC, and unfortunately they will stay in the current financial situation, not change anything, and probably even lose money. Dollar index collapsed, losing support. We would love to see it lose the major support at 100 and drop below. Purple box was the last bull run. We need to see a fishing line, then it's money printing time. This is a bit of analysis that I was essentially sharing already on the dollar chart, which is essentially the main chart out there, speaking of the risk asset. People are waiting for utility for last 8 months. They will give up and join the Memecoin super cycle. Partially, memes are being bought up just because of the reason that they were oversold. At the same time, a lot of things that were bought up, a lot of things that I was calling yesterday and I was calling in my private Discord, a lot of things, they are already at 50% from the all-time high, 60% from the all-time high, 70% from the all-time high. And you holding your altcoins, you would probably be very, very happy to see the same situation happen on the altcoins. But unfortunately, it's not happening. And the main reason for that is because market makers are buying out vested supply from VCs with 60, 70, 80% discounts. They conduct with exchanges and they dump and short altcoins at the same time. This is what is happening on most of the altcoins. And meme coins are actually new alts. And there is still this bias that you cannot be entering like with large capital into these memes. I saw a wallet buying $130,000 of smoking chicken fish at $20 million. It happened 3 to 5 days ago. Right now, this wallet is $400,000 in profit. He did it 4x in the last 4 days. He went from 130K to 520K. He did the 4x. the more you delay understanding of this space, the more you delay the viewership of this is something dangerous, the harder it essentially would be and the higher the chance that you will underperform. And on this channel, specifically the memes that I gave you yesterday, I was not giving you risky stuff. I was not giving you some bullshit. I wasted a bunch of money myself to actually be able to come to these memes, to come to these safe picks, to analyze them and to actually be able to provide you with them. A bunch of, I would even say hundreds of thousands of dollars were lost to be able to provide you with the picks that I gave you yesterday. And all of them are good memes. And all of them will continue to surge up. And take a look at my high conviction plays. Highest convictions of those. SCF outperformed heavily 4x from the bottom. Selfie outperformed heavily to 0.5x from the bottom. Lock-in 60 to 70%. Tramp not so great, but the reason I put it here just because the entry point was very, very nice. Brainlet outperformed heavily as well, close to 2x. FWalk 3 to 4x from the bottom as well. My highest conviction picks outperformed, which is a very, very important thing. Some of you might neglect it. It's a very, very important thing at this stage. This is where you actually can be entering with size. This is where you actually can be safely making money in this market. Buying the fear in good assets that actually tend to outperform, tend to move up heavily. The reason that people are not paying attention currently is because they're not making money. They are not making money not because of the market. It's a skill issue. They don't know what to buy. They don't know what they should hold and what they should sell and at what levels. This is a skill issue. That's why they are not paying attention. People who are making money, it's the best market for them currently. They're in the market. They're making money on Tron. They're making money on Sol. They're making money on other chains. They're not making money with alts at this stage. This is a very, very biased and stupid mindset, to be honest. Just hold these assets and they will pump eventually, but you will underperform heavily. And what you will end up with is capitulating your altcoins into meme coins at the tops. When the party is almost over, they will give you some meat to taste, some blood to taste, right? And right away they will dump because it would be the sell signal for them. Right now it's not. Right now they're accumulating themselves. Right now they are buying themselves. How market makers make money. I actually found this quite funny and it's quite true as well. And it's not about the market makers. It's also about people who are launching the projects, people who are farming the projects, all the trading bots, all the trading platforms, exchanges, they are extracting the money from the space, which is not that great. Justin Sun, who is the founder of Tron, he made a copy of pump.fun on Tron. What he did with the fees is very, very important because he's also taking fees, same as pump.fun. Pump.fun generated more than $100 million in fees already. With crazy stat like with 5% of the users of the platform making more than $1,000. So it's a huge money extractor out there, right? Justin Sun, what did he make? He actually redistributed fees from this platform that he made to the people who actually stake Sun token, which is the main DEX on Tron. So he's giving this money back to the ecosystem, which significantly decreases the amount of liquidity that's being drained out of the ecosystem. This is something that I think other chain founders should actually look at. Other team runners out there that are developing their own blockchains or layer 2 solutions. I do actually think, I do have a feeling they're closely looking, they're closely following the things that are happening because they're quite important for them. They do understand the amount of liquidity and the amount of users that this thing is actually bringing. And Justin Sun, you pretty much created this blueprint for bringing new liquidity because after he launched his platform, BNB, Binance, created similar type of platform to pump.fun as well. It's a very, very interesting type of setup because it's essentially a blueprint at this stage to bring Memecoin mania on chain in a native way. Finalizing the overview here, I do expect chop through the weekend. I would love for us to see dumping on Monday. I do think that we might be taking this liquidity around 63k and 62k, and I would expect continuation higher from there. A lot of people are still not paying attention. Funding is still negative or close to zero. A lot of people are bearish or shorting or are following the bias to persuade them that nothing is happening. And good traders, people that actually understand and know this market, they are positioning already. And we can see this in Sol memes recovering heavily. Some of them, most performing of them, I actually gave to you yesterday. If you were in my private Discord, you received them 12 hours before at way better market caps and way better prices. If you have $15,000 or more to invest into meme coins and you really want to make money this cycle, not to underperform heavily sitting in your altcoins just to swap at the top into meme coins and get wrecked, this is the way, this is the space to actually be able to do that. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Bye bye.